Hello, welcome to Menacing MTG. Happy holidays. Uh, Releasing this video here on Christmas Eve, and appropriately, it is a green-red deck for the holiday. It is a meta deck, poor man's meta deck, you could say, because I don't have exactly all of the components. I did a lot of research on the Gruul meta deck and have most things in here, but had to make some consolations, which is the reality. And this is a very effective deck. I'm going to show you what I have put in and what is missing. I'll start with what is missing. So um, typically there's four Kazi-Doom mammoths. I only have one, and part of the reason for having four of these is because it can also be used as land. So I have some accommodations for that. Additionally, there's always four Lovestruck Beast. I only have three. Questing Beast, there's usually three in a deck. I have two. Embercleave, I have three and two Great Henge, and typically there are maybe three of each. Sometimes there's four Embercleaves. There are several decks that have this combination of three and two. That's all I have of both of those. Yeah, so that's the limitations. Also, Shatter Skull Smashing. Most people run four. Again, they will want four red and four green multi-purpose cards that can produce mana as needed. Because typically in this deck there are 20 lands run. Speaking of lands, typically what is run is 5 mountains, 7 forests, 4 Crag Crown Pathway, and 4 Fabled Passage, and that equals the 20 mana. So what I only have 2 Crag Crown Pathways, so I have 2 Temple of Abandon, which are slower, they come in tapped. They do scry, so a subtle fringe benefit. So what I have done is I have 3 red and 1, 2, 3 green cards that double as land. So I have one less of each color and therefore have one more forest and one more mountain. In some ways more reliable land because these come in tapped, with the sole exception of Shatterskull. You can pay 3 life to bring one untapped. So I do make some consolations in the land department and therefore have 2 less things on the board, but those 2 less things are the dual purpose cards. So I do have Robber and the Rich in here, which is not typical of this deck. There are some meta decks that are very successful that do run up to 4 of these. I do have 2 Embereth Shield Breakers. You could argue that I could run 3 Robbers and 1 of these, but if by chance you're going against a deck with potent artifacts, this is a great card to have in hand. It also is an adventure creature, so when it comes on with Edgewall on the board, you get to draw a card. So that's a big coup. And there are more. I had a previous version of this that had 9. Now I believe I have 10. No, maybe still 9. Well, let's just do the math here. 8 and 3 is, I'm sorry, 4 and 3 is 7, plus 2 is 9. So I have 9 of these adventure creatures. When they come on, triggers Edgewall. So then I have 1 Phoenix of Ash. This is used in some meta decks. It's more rarely used. So there you have it. This allows a creature to fight, which is, I've never seen this in one of these meta decks. I have seen Primal Might in a couple of meta decks that are very successful. I have 1 in here, so I have 2 abilities to fight. And this Tangled Florahedron, I figured, is not a bad consolation. It gives me even more ability to have mana at my fingertips, and a +1/+1 creature that provides mana, which is a bonus for the Lovestruck Beast. Because there are 4, 5, 9 1/1 creatures in the deck already. So it's likely you won't need to use the sorcery ability for Lovestruck Beast to bring him on and have him able to attack. Okay, so I've mentioned all the pieces. There's one other consolation prize that I have in this deck that the meta decks, I've never seen a successful meta deck. There probably are some, but I have not seen them, and I did look at a lot of them. But nobody had Terror of the Peaks in there, so I have one of those in there. If I'm lucky enough to get that on the board, then drop things that can wreak havoc. So just another angle for this deck. So there's the deck. We're going to play some games. Okay, we're going to pick this up here on turn 3. The opponent has an Orzhov deck going here and has some problems that they're presenting to us already. So the good news is that we have the Giant to eliminate this. And we'll toss a token on, just have 3 1/1s. Swing in, but he does have this Sanctum of Stone Fangs tapping us and bolstering them. Oh, I do not like that card one bit. Fortunately, we can remove it. So we're going to bring up a red. And we're going to go ahead and whack it. And we're just below the mana curve here every turn. But I'm not complaining. We're 17-17 after the Stone Fangs. Oh boy. Yikes. That does hurt immensely. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and bring the Beast in. Draw 2 cards, so a little consolation, although we lost an Embercleave. Okay, we got loads of mana here, which is awesome. And we're going to swing for 3. Okay, and on his turn he'll take the life advantage back. We do have some things on the board. I'm expecting to see Extinction Event or Impassioned Orator. We can remove that with Shatter Skull. I think we will. It's going to be a pricey item. I don't think so. I think what we're going to do here is attack with everything and bring Embercleave on and test what he's got here. That is going to hurt. Okay, he's going to take out an edge wall. And he's going to take a boatload of damage down to 2. And now the question is, what do I do here? I think we're going to bring up Phoenix of Ash just to ensure that we can kill them next turn if they remove the Beast. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to deal with all that. They do gain a life. So they are up to 4. They're going to have to remove the Beast here to live another turn. They have 3 mana. They take out the artifact, which is, great. Do they have anything else they can play? That's it. Okay, there's game 1. Okay, we're joining this game here on turn 4, and they had brought out Crystalline Giant, and Embreth Shieldbreaker did his job. Boy, that's the first payoff I've had since building this deck and adding this to it. I just want to say that I was down to 79%. Then I got this deck dialed in, and I've crawled up. So we're going to bring on Fabled Passage. Call it red. And we're going to bring on the Beast, which will draw us a card. That's great. Okay, Robber of the Rich in hand. Come in for 1. So it's thus far black colorless. Used 2 agonizing remorse on me, which hurt. They got rid of ooze and a questing beast, which I've only got 2 questing beasts in this deck. So I think what we're going to do right here is put on another innkeeper and bring on the giant, which will draw 2 cards, which will be very welcome. And we do get a land, 2 lands, and we'll toss up a green land and come in and attack for 1, bringing them down to 12. So I do have some good items in my hand here. Agonizing remorse. There goes Robber of the Rich. Okay, that's okay. They're hurting themselves here. We are shy on creatures at this point, but here comes the card draw. Okay, Henge comes out. We'll come in for 6. They're in some trouble here for sure. I don't know what they've got up their sleeves, but I am fearing a board wipe, so I'm happy to go about whacking them with lighter stuff. And we've got the Primal Might. Ooh, they're going to take 3. That's game right there, folks. That's game. Okay, so there you have it. I'm going to stop there. Hope you enjoyed. Have a great holiday, and please subscribe. That'd be awesome. Take care.